Hi guys, it's Weedit, and I am here finally with a video. I have not been making videos because I have not been doing artwork. I've been doing some creative stuff but not artwork, and so hopefully that is going to change. I've got quite a few ideas that I've been jotting down so that I could have some inspiration when I did get some time. Now, encaustic is the most expensive medium for me that I use, so I'm always trying to look for new ways of cutting corners, extending my resources. And what I'm trying today is this warming tray. There's a class on Essence of Mulroney, which is, and the class is Painting with Fire. And this is the second year they ran it. This idea came from the first year that they ran it, and that was to saturate papers with wax to use in different ways, but in order to do it, they had a really nice studio, and they had an R&F palette, and then they had a Roland hotbox. Well, the R&F palette started at just under $325 when I checked on Dick Blick. The Roland hotbox had a higher price tag starting of around $600, and I thought about building a hotbox, but even the aluminum plate that goes on the top was $160. So this is a warming tray by Chefman. It has 3 levels, which is low, medium, and high. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this will work. I purchased this earlier this year. Like I said, I've had ideas, and I've been kind of buying stuff to facilitate these ideas. I just haven't had the time to do it. And this was one of them. This is what I was most excited about. So I'm hoping that this kind of will substitute. I don't have a very big space to work in. I use a pancake griddle for my hot palette, and it's really too small to try and do anything with these papers. So I'm hoping that the tray will work. There are obviously some disadvantages to using this warming tray. One of them being that the surface is black. Both the hot box and the hot palette have a nice gray surface, so you can see the colors. But this was only $40 when I purchased it. They're now up to about $70. Still, even at $70, that's a significant savings. Now, I have 2 types of paper. This is archival tissue paper that I ordered, and the other type of paper I want to try is rice paper. And so I have this. This is a little bit more opaque, and I'm really kind of concerned because it's got a side that I don't know is going to saturate well with wax. It has a smooth feel to it. It's not glossy, but it is coated. This one, whoops, haha. Okay, here we go. We might as well get started. It dipped into the color. It really isn't what I wanted. I'm going to say it's a happy accident and try to melt it off of that. There we go. And it didn't really melt off, but we'll just have to see. So I'm thinking it still needs to melt just a little bit. I have a silicone tool here from Catalyst, and it looks like it's, there we go. Yeah, we're getting some. It looks like it is fairly well melted. These were just scraps that I have scraped off of one thing or another. If you hear any noises in the background, I have a rescue kitten who is making noise because we have a new addition to our household, and that happens to be a Labrador puppy. And not quite getting along, truthfully. Puppy thinks that the kittens are there. The kitten is there to entertain her. The kitten's not really thrilled with that idea, so I'm going to have to put some more wax down. There's some medium in here, and I'm just sort of messing around. I'm not really trying to achieve anything in particular, except to find out if this method will work with I'm being silly because I have, there we go. Trying to get it coated. See what happens. If this does work, if I get nicely saturated pieces, then I will do another video showing how I plan to use these. But it should work. Oh, look, I am getting this everywhere. That's good. It's really rather quite nice. Okay. And this is the paper. It has sort of a watercolor look to it that I really wasn't expecting. That's actually quite nice. And it seems like I might have a cool spot right here. But this is a great way to use up everything. Those little scraps that you get. I don't know if you hear the dogs barking. I'm going to wave this a little bit to cool it down. Then I'm going to drape it over an area to sort of dry. Okay guys, I'm just going to have to say, loving this. I absolutely love how that's turning out. Let me get some more medium on here, especially in this little corner. This is medium that I made and poured up myself, and that looks like it might be not. It's not. That was not wax. So, like I said, I do several different things to try to make encaustic just a little bit more affordable. And I definitely, this side seems to be quite a good bit cooler than the other side. The one having the hardest time with the new puppy is our lab who. That's one way to get wax on there. Is our lab who's like 5. They had a spat over a stuffed duck, of all things. But he seems to be coming around. Okay. And there's just a couple pieces that don't look like they're not wax. I'm not sure what they are, but they're not melting, so we're going to get rid of those. All right. Taking the color off of the credit card that has accumulated. The kitten is from my school. She had gotten, I think, separated from her family, and I really got her when she was way too young, but it wasn't like it was a choice. She was playing around in the parking lot and running underneath the cars that were dropping off kids, and I'm the school's kitten wrangler, so I was able to catch her, and she was so terrified that during my planning period I kept her quietly in my room, and the kids didn't whatever happened, I was able to keep her in my room that day, but she was so scared that during my planning I took her out and of course snuggled with her, and it was all over with at that point. She was coming home.
Recording.
So I like this. I should have done a, I wasn't thinking, I was just so happy with the result. I did another one, but I probably should have tried some of the rice paper, because this is the tissue paper again. And it really is gorgeous, guys. That watercolor look is so pretty. Was not expecting a watercolor look. Now, it doesn't hurt that I know that I'm using some of my favorite colors, which are phthalo blue green shade and phthalo green blue shade. And there was a spring green, I think, in here. And then there was a darker color. Okay, so this, as I said, this one's a little more subdued. The other one's a little brighter, but it's still quite pretty. And now I'm going to wipe this. There we go. Wipe this up a little bit, which means I'm not using all of it, but I want to try some different colors. So I have a mix. This is sage green, so we're just going to put some sage green on here. This is on about medium right now. And I gotta tell you, so far I'm really quite happy. Let's put, this is dioxazine purple light. And we know that different colors melt slightly differently. So I'm not planning anything. I'm just sort of playing. This is cobalt green. I want to put some in here. This corner is a cool corner. I need to be aware of that. Try to remember. Not sure why. Maybe I'm trying to do a floral. Not really sure why I've got purple in circles, but we're going to go with that. This is dioxazine purple. Let's just... because I'm going to squish it all together anyway, so I don't think it's going to stay looking like flowers or anything like that. Let's put some more in here. Titanium white. I want just a little. No rhyme or reason. I don't know why I'm doing the little L's out here. I'm just sort of playing and trying to get some color down. And I'm kind of hoping I get a nice watercolor effect. Is that some nice white? I will save that. Let me put it in my recycle jar. Okay. So this is the one that already got a little on it. I'm just going to put it down. We should see what happens. the stuff that was on the back side is melting, so that'll add some more. Let's move it around. And melting the stuff that was on my card. I think I need to put some medium down, so that's a good thing to remember. Maybe we need medium in some critical areas. Ooh, oh wait. Ha. Okay, that's what I've got so far. That's interesting. I do want to saturate it though, so I want more. But it's almost like I got a print, which is a pretty cool idea. This may work for encaustic printings, monoprints. I have never tried that. That may be a cool thing to do with this. I'm kind of excited. Doesn't take much. Okay. Mix it up, put it down the other way. And I'm not really above doing this either to try and get more medium. Because my goal is for this is to saturate it. But I think I'm going to have to come back to that printing idea. Because that was an unexpected result. One of the things that sometimes I get caught up with doing is, oh, I got to make something. I've got to go in because I haven't had time. And what I haven't done is I've been focused on, okay, if I go sit down, I need to make something. I need to make something. I need to do a nice piece instead of just saying, oh, okay, I think I'll play. And the play doesn't really have to produce anything other than just experiment. And I think that playtime is so critical for artists. Okay, so I've got this edge here that I do need to saturate a little more. You can tell that it's not saturated because it's white, and you guys can't quite see what I'm working on. I'm trying to show. Here we go. There. So I've got white at that very bottom edge on both corners, and that's what I'm trying to work on. I think I'm just going to sort of cheat. Actually, it's at 4 corners. Oh, y'all. I have to admit, I really like this. So for a method that I was excited to try, this is still not what I was. I'm still getting very surprised. Okay, I want to get my corners covered a little bit better. So, lost my scraper tool. I'll get in there. The scraping it, like I'm doing, seems to help saturate, pushes the wax into the paper a little bit better, and so I think that's giving me better results than just letting it try to, oh hey, absorb. So by pushing it in like this, it looks to me like I'm getting a much better saturation. So this is what we've got. I think I'm going to smooth this out. Probably not. No, I'm not. I just thought I was going to. Okay, so again, that's pretty nice. I'm really quite happy with that. And I have plenty still on here. So I'm going to put more medium. And probably if you had the palette and the or the hot box, you wouldn't have what I'm dealing with here. And you really can't see, but it's cooler. My warming plate is cooler right here. I've got a cool side to it. So as I said, I know there's trade-offs, and yes, I would love to have the more expensive, but when I can save several $100s and maybe get something that will work for no more than I want to do, which is play, I think this is working out quite well. I am quite pleased with it, and the answer to my question is yes, this does work, and it's working even better, and it's more fun than I had even anticipated. I'm going to sit here and color all of these, and I will come back and show you the results. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to show you the results of using the encaustic wax with this warming tray. And this is the first one. You can still see my hand through it, so it's still very translucent, but this gives a really soft watercolor look to it. Was not at all expecting this kind of really soft look. So very pleased with this. If I used strictly translucent colors, it would, you can't see my hand through this area as much because I was using some opaque colors, but you can see that this would be pretty much see-through with the transparent colors. Now I've got a little buildup right here, so I'll just take my heat tool and that will change what this area looks like. I'm fine with that. This is gorgeous. I am really happy with this paper. It is really totally soaked with wax. And this is another one. Okay, I think this was probably the first one that I did with these colors, and then this would be the second, and here is the third. And this is the tissue paper. This was rice paper that I did, and you can get, like I said, out of that same wax, I got this one, then I also got this one, which is a softer, really, like I said, watercolor effect that I got. This one is not so much of a watercolor effect, but I still really do like it. Of course, I really like that color, those colors together. This one was a cleanup piece, and there's a little bit of purple. This is the tissue paper and some of the green, so that was when I was really kind of cleaning up, but it is still very much completely saturated with the wax. This was one of the first ones that I did, and I like it. This was when I used the scraps up that I had. I know I had some spring green in there and some blues. There was some phthalo green blue shade and phthalo blue green shade that I used. So I do like that. Not as much of a watercolor effect. It is still there somewhat. Okay, this was another cleanup sheet from this. This is the tissue paper, very soft look. And then I did something a little different. Not thrilled with this one. This was cadmium yellow medium, cadmium red medium, maybe red deep. I have to go back and look. But this is on the rice paper, and I was just checking. I wanted to try a geometric. It's a little strong for me, but I think I can still use this. Totally permeated. And then I got on a slightly different streak. I thought, well, let's try putting some color down, and I just put the color down and took this print, just make little circles with the color, and in these other areas they are permeated with wax. I used wax medium, and then this one gave me an idea. So it led to the creation of this. And to get this effect, which again is going back to more of that watercolor using warm tones though, I put down a lot of medium and I left the color. I didn't add any more color from this one, and I just added more medium and let the wax melt and do its thing, and it created this much softer watercolor look that I really do like. This was a third pull from it, and that was adding a lot of wax medium there. So those are the results. I am very happy with how using this warming tray worked to create these wax saturated papers. And the papers you can do different things with. They can go as a background for your encaustic work, they can be used in collage work, and they can be used to create structural elements. And I'm probably going to show a little bit of what I do with these in another video, but this was just to test and see how well it's a now $70 warming tray worked, instead of having to purchase something that was much more expensive. If you have a pancake griddle that you're working on, you can still do this. Mine it was a little small to try to do anything with it, and it's pretty much permanently set up as my encaustic, so I needed a little something else, but I just didn't have the money to spend $325 to get the R&F hot palette. So this worked very well. Thank you guys. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any ideas or suggestions about I really want to try prints, mono prints with this. I think that will be very interesting to do. This was a lot like working with a jelly plate, but for encaustics. So if you have any other ideas or suggestions on what to do with the papers or another way to use the warming tray, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you shortly where I do something with some of these papers. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.